One of the biggest talking points in the build-up to the FA Cup final was about what Manchester United's front three was going to look like. United had brought the Premier League season to a close at Brighton and Hove Albion 6 days earlier without a recognised centre-forward on the pitch from the start. Rasmus Højlund started on the bench for the second game running, leaving Bruno Fernandes to lead the attack as a false nine. Højlund, however, stepped off the bench against both Newcastle United and Brighton to score, strengthening his chances of a recall for the final at Wembley against Manchester City. Against both Newcastle and Brighton, Erik ten Hag fielded an attack that relied on Alejandro Garnacho and Amad to support Fernandes from the wide areas. Amad ended the Premier League campaign as one of United's most informed players. He was excellent in the narrow defeat to Arsenal, before scoring against Newcastle a few days later. He had played his way into contention to start the showpiece event at Wembley, and many United fans felt his performances were worthy of that honour. However, ten Hag, who got his tactical approach spot on against City, felt experience was key for a game of such magnitude, recalling Marcus Rashford to the starting 11. He started in his natural habitat on the left wing, supporting Fernandes, who kept his place as a makeshift striker. Garnacho provided support from the opposite flank, meaning Amad and Højlund watched from the bench. Of course, ahead of this forthcoming season, Højlund is expected to lead United's attack and attempt to build on last season's tally of 16 goals. United want to add Joshua Zirkzee to their ranks, but Højlund is expected to remain chief striker. There are, however, question marks about who may support Højlund from the wide areas. The Reds are currently knee-deep in wingers, both on the right and the left, and they need to cut their cloth before the end of the transfer window. Antony, despite his struggles over the last 2 years, is still in situ and will be of the opinion he should get another opportunity to make a name for himself at Old Trafford, but Garnacho and Amad ended last season ahead of him in the pecking order. Garnacho was United's best winger last season by some distance. Garnacho, who could feature for Argentina in the Copa America final against Colombia, displayed in the second half of last term that he is just as fruitful on the right as he is on the left. Many will argue he should be United's starting right winger this season. However, his main position could be dictated by the form and possibly the future of Rashford. United are yet to rule out the prospect of the academy graduate leaving the club this summer, despite their preference being to keep him. The 26-year-old scored just 8 goals last season, leaving supporters frustrated and some calling for him to be sold as part of Ineo's summer rebuild. In the event of him being retained, however, his form could dictate the roles both Garnacho and Amad have to play. Garnacho, regardless of Rashford's future or form, should be a regular starter for United after the progress he made last season. The latter, though, could dictate which flank he is assigned to. If Rashford rediscovers the level of form he produced in 2022-23, he will make the left wing his own again, meaning Garnacho will have to weave his magic from the opposite side. But in the event of him stuttering in the same way he did last season, Ten Hag might be brave enough to drop the academy graduate to the bench, deploy Garnacho from the left and give Amad the opportunity to try and finally establish himself as a first-team regular. Manchester United are on fire in the transfer market. The Red Devils are currently in negotiations for 6 possible transfers, 5 of them incoming and 1 of them outgoing. While not all of these will likely go through, as the success of one transfer could end the chase for another in the same position, there are 6 ongoing deals that could be completed in the next week or so. The first is Joshua Zirkzee. Man United are in advanced talks to sign the Bologna striker, with the Red Devils set to pay the €40 million clause in the Dutchman's contract. Premier League Summer Transfers 2024, all the done deals. Personal terms have been agreed, as has the commission for Zirkzee's agent Kia Jorabchian, so this is a transfer that could be official by the end of the week. In defence, United are currently working on signing 3 central defenders. It is likely that only 2 of these will end up joining United, but the Red Devils are working on 3 nonetheless. The first is Everton star Gerard Branthwaite. United tabled a new bid this week of €59 million, which has been rejected by Everton. The Goodison Park team are asking for €77 to €83 million to sell the player, and negotiations will now continue. Read more, Saudi Pro League Summer Transfers 2024, all the done deals. The second defender United are in talks with is Bayern Munich centre-back Matthijs de Ligt. The Daily Mail reports this week that United are close to agreeing a deal for de Ligt for a fee of €51 million. De Ligt has already agreed personal terms and wants to rejoin his former Ajax manager Erik ten Hag. The third defender United have opened negotiations with is Lille star Leny Yoro, probably as an alternative to Branthwaite or de Ligt. Man United have seen a bid for Leny Yoro accepted by Lille, but he still wants to join Real Madrid, according to Fabrizio Romano. In midfield, United are in talks to sign PSG midfielder Manuel Ugarte. According to reports, United have made an offer of €40 million for the Uruguayan, with PSG asking for €60 million. It is possible that the two sides could meet in the middle. In terms of outgoings, Mason Greenwood's transfer to Marseille could be completed by the end of the week. Marseille have reached an agreement to sign the Man United forward. He will join for €30 million plus a sell-on clause of 40 to 50%. It is going to be a busy next week for everyone associated with Man United. Manchester United have agreed a £26.7 million fee to sell Mason Greenwood to Marseille. The striker is set to leave Old Trafford, providing he agrees personal terms with the French club, as part of a deal that includes add-ons and will give United a sell-on clause. Greenwood, who has not played for United since January 2022, also attracted interest from a host of other clubs, including Lazio, Juventus and Napoli. He met with United's new hierarchy at Carrington on Monday, when United underlined that they thought it was best he continued his career elsewhere. Greenwood spent last season on loan at Getafe, scoring 10 goals, after being suspended by United for 19 months following his arrest in 2022. He was charged with attempted rape, assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and controlling and coercive behavior by police, though those charges were subsequently dropped after a witness withdrew their cooperation. United conducted an internal investigation when former chief executive Richard Arnold concluded he should not play for the club again, though Sir Jim Ratcliffe seemed to suggest that decision would be reappraised after he took a 27.7% stake. But United had targeted Greenwood, who has scored 35 goals in 129 games for them, as a player to sell this summer, as they hope to raise funds to enable them to strengthen their squad. Marseille, who are now led by former Brighton manager Roberto De Zerbi, came up with the biggest bid United have received. The Independent is the world's most free-thinking news brand, providing global news, commentary and analysis for the independently minded. We have grown a huge, global readership of independently minded individuals who value our trusted voice and commitment to positive change. Our mission, making change happen, has never been as important as it is today. Youssouf Fofana has agreed personal terms with AC Milan, according to Fabrizio Romano. The French midfielder is in demand after coming off his best personal season with Monaco. Both the player himself and the club have been quite open about the fact that Fofana is looking for a new challenge this summer, and interest in his services has been high. Arsenal and Man United have both frequently scouted the 25-year-old over the past 12 months after a move to the Premier League fell through last summer. Fofana had offers on the table, including from Nottingham Forest, but felt as though the project wasn't attractive enough to lure him away from Monaco. Arsenal's accept bid for defender Romano. It is a different story this summer, though, and Fofana now appears to be closing in on his next move. It seems, however, that he is still not Premier League bound. Fofana agrees Milan terms.